Hi guys, I just wanted to do a quick review on the Steelseries 7G keyboard, which I just got today. And I just gotta say, first off, it's a pretty damn good keyboard. And yeah, I'm just gonna talk about a few things with it. First off, how the keys feel. Now this is pretty important because this is a mechanical keyboard, and basically one of the most important things with mechanical keyboards is how the keys feel, because a lot of people say that is one of the main advantages that mechanical keyboards have over membrane keyboards. And if you don't know the difference between membrane keyboards and mechanical keyboards, membrane keyboards basically have these plastic contacts, and they can feel a bit, I guess, light, soft, something like that. And for mechanical keyboards, you can feel a bit better how, well, not how, but when they register a key being pressed, or some people just generally say they feel better. Anyway, so you don't need to press the keys down far. Like, here's the M key. I'll just click some of those so I can actually see if it's actuating or not. But so I'm pressing down that far, and it's typing M's on my notepad open. And this is the entire way down to press it. So actually, that's not a huge difference. I guess I'm pushing a bit further down than what is necessary, but actually no, it feels like a bit of a difference. Anyway. So these keys feel really different to me from my last keyboard because I was using membrane keyboard before, just a normal Microsoft keyboard. And yeah, it's quite a good change. It's a welcome change, that's for sure. And next up is the size and height. It's basically about the same size as my last keyboard. It's not as huge as the wrist rest makes it look. Uh, Actually, if I take this off, you can get a bit better look at it. It's not a huge keyboard. It's pretty much just a standard size keyboard, although it is kind of tall. Like, it's not the smallest in height you can ever get. Like, if you put this against one of the Macintosh keyboards, like one of the really thin ones, it'll just make it look like a dwarf, seriously. Anyway, next is the key placement. There's a SteelSeries key here. There's usually a Windows key here, but in this case it's not, so you can't just tap it accidentally and that'll make the game minimize by accident. That happens a lot in FPS games. And if you hold down this key, you can press one of these audio control keys. There's mute, decrease volume, increase volume, play and pause, previous and next. All these three work for me. These keys up here, I mean, I don't know if my finger was in view then, so these three work for me. These three here, they don't actually work for me at the moment because I usually have iTunes minimized though. If I have my iTunes up, then it works, but otherwise it doesn't really work that well. Might just be me though, I don't know. And yeah, there's also the huge enter key. They've taken, I think it was this key here is usually above the enter key. It depends. I think that's done a lot of keyboards. And they also made the backspace key smaller as a result of all of that. And I think this is just to better a gaming experience. Just if you have your chat key set to enter, you can just press enter. Just basically put your hand over this side of the keyboard and be pretty sure you're going to press the enter key. Of course, if the enter key is that big, it's kind of hard to miss it. Next off is wrist rest. You already saw me detach it, so you know it's detachable, and it feels good. It feels different than this. Like, this is the actual keyboard. This is wrist rest. It feels a bit different, at least. I'm probably completely wrong. It's probably the same material, but at least the texture looks a bit different. But anyway, it's a good shape. It's rounded at the edges, and it just feels good. It's pretty bare basics wrist rest. It's not like fancy leather, but you don't really need anything else. Okay, here's my biggest hate of this keyboard. It's probably one of my only hates. And I've just got to get the camera nice and close to this. Right now, you can see the num caps and scroll lights. Now, at the moment, you're probably like, well, Big deal. So what? Well, that's the big deal. It is so bright. I literally have to look away at it. I'm looking at the screen, not at the light at all at the moment, because, well, I guess that's more to control the camera, but seriously, I tried looking at one of these lights before and it actually hurt my eyes a fair bit. It's just, in fact, I've tried a few times. I actually really don't like it. Like, if you turn all of the lights on, that's seriously going to light up some front driveways, and it's just really bright. You might be like, well, you have the camera right next to it, of course it looks bright. Still bright, still bright, still pretty bright. That still looks pretty bright. Like, can you actually read the text underneath? No, you can't, because it's so bright. I mean, that's actually accurate as well. If I try to read the text from underneath, right now I can barely read it. The camera can't even pick it up. But I can barely read it because it's so bright. Don't know why they had to make it so bright. I guess it's so if you're like gaming or something and you press one of the keys, you can just easily see that it's turned on. Of course, it might also be to light up dark nerd rooms, but whatever. Next up, there's USB and audio jacks at the back. The USB ports are 1.1, I believe. So they're not that great for data transfer, but they don't need to be if it's only peripherals. Actually, I mean, they're alright for data transfers. It's only if you're trying to transfer like massive files or something like that that you're gonna have problems. The braided cable, it's really long, it's really strong. That's about all I need to say about it. But I also wanted to say that uh, it just looks really strong. I guess it's just going to be really strong, provided you don't put it over a campfire, because it isn't a marshmallow. But yeah, I think it's kind of obvious though. It's just really strong. Whatever. Yeah, I guess I rate this keyboard 9 out of 10. It's really good. There's only basically two things I don't like about it at the moment. That's these and how the keyboard feels, kind of. Like, it feels really good. It's just that it feels so much different, and I think that's mainly why I don't like it so much at the moment. And also maybe the backspace key. The backspace key is a bit annoying. Oh, one more thing. You can kind of feel all of the text on these because it's like printed over the top. Oh, and I guess this isn't the best way of reviewing, but I'm going to add one more thing in on top of that. You know how the F and J keys, they usually have these bumps on them to show you where they are? These have those bumps. They're really tiny. I guess that's for gaming or something again, but it's like they're so tiny that you can't even feel them. Well, you can if you try to, but otherwise you don't feel them at all. And also they're on the edge of the key, so it's quite hard to actually find them and feel them. That didn't sound that good, but whatever. Anyway, so that's the Steelseries 7G review. And I'm not ending the video just yet, because over here is the 9HD. I'm not reviewing it just now, though. I'm waiting for my Steelseries Xi to come in first. You can see my webcam cable there. But yeah, this is just the look of it. Looks really cool. Actually, it doesn't look that cool on the webcam. Maybe I have to let it adjust or something. I don't know. Anyway, so it's a really cool mouse pad anyway. And I'm going to review that with the Steelseries Xi when my Xi actually arrives. Not sure when that is. Anyway, that's all for now. See you.